Are you able to hear me? So are you clear with the concept of the model one? So we'll get more clarity as we are going into the practical side, don't worry. But at least the basic things what I told you in the construct of the model, you have to be very clear, okay? So finally, being a AI ML developer, your goal is to develop models. Am I clear? Your goal is to develop machine learning models. If you come and say that I can write machine learning coding, nobody will care you. At the end of the day, when you say your experience and you have been part of the AML, they just ask you how many ML models you have developed. Are you catching my point? So if you are not speaking on the number of models what you have developed, you will not get recognized. So how to develop them? You leave all that on my shoulders, man. Okay, you just try to understand the concepts. Now, for any machine learning, AI and ML implementations you want to do, you need to technically understand the concept of what are features. This is another thing that many number of times, technically, the learners or beginners will confuse. See, once you design your AI implementation, then you are sending this particular function for the sake of learning. Yes or no? You're trying to send this particular function that you generated or that you designed or the approach what you design in AI for learning purpose into ML. Am I correct? Now, learning depends upon multiple different number of factors of values what you supply. Do you agree with me? So be very clear. Many times people think that features are variables or features are just like variables. Okay, I don't go against to these acceptances, but being a AI ML professional, we should be more better in understanding the construct of the features. So features are nothing but the input variables used in machine learning model to make predictions. This is very, very important. Means whatever kind of input variable you are using in your machine learning model, that variable should have the ability of making predictions. Means if you supply any value into that particular variable, or if you're operating with any constructive state of a value in that particular variable, it should have the ability for making predictions. Am I clear? If it is not having the ability of making predictions, it's not a feature. Understand that. So, from any real time domain, if you say that this is a variable, what is your concentration? What should be your concentration? Come on. You should check whether that variable has the ability to make predictions to your particular domain of requirement. Are you getting me? It should have the ability to make your predictions become more successful. Any variable that will help you in making your predictions to be more successful definitely becomes a feature. Therefore, can we just make your variables in your programming languages directly to be considered as features? Maybe, may not be. Are you getting me? Few maybe, but not all. So if you're taking the fundamental definition that every variable that we have been working with programming languages all these days is a feature, don't you think that it's just going to confuse us later on? So try to understand these constructs very carefully. So which variable will make a prediction to be more successful? All those variables are nothing but what? Features. So each identified feature is technically representing an attribute or property of the data. So features are not coming from anywhere. Features are nothing but all those influencing attributes or properties that are fundamentally part of the data. Fundamentally part of the data. So you need to just understand the construct that should be taken very properly through the criteria. Suppose like I'm taking few domains, man, just to make you understand, okay? Just to make you understand. One by one, you are following and you are also interacting, else you'll not understand, okay? Ready? Now, let us take a domain of predicting house prices, man, okay? Now, let us say like you're trying to predict the house prices. Now, our intention is what? We want to predict whether the price that is given for that particular house in sale can be at this particular level of value or not. Now, don't you think that price is a value and direct value? But don't you think that for deciding that particular price, we need a feature called as what is the square footage of the house? Is it not an identified feature that will definitely influence your prediction of the house price? For all the people are professionals and you have been part of, say, like staying in rented houses or you have been purchasing any particular house, when the corresponding owner says the rent is, say, like 35,000 or 40,000, are you not first asking what is the area of the house? Then are you not asking something like a feature, how many number of bedrooms or rooms are there? According to the answers what you get to these particular features, the figure what you get, are you not finalizing whether the price what is indicating to your house for rent or purchase is really genuine or not? The third, if suppose say like you are investing around 40,000 for a rented house, let us say, where the square footage is around 1500 square feet, with say like three bedrooms, and technically, are you not checking genuinity with respect to the location wise? Is it really preferable for that price or not? Square footage is a number, man. Okay, am I correct? Square footage is a numerical value. Do you agree with me? Number of bedrooms is also numerical value. Location, is it numerical? No, it is geographical. Am I correct? It's geographical. Now, square footage, which is a number of bedrooms, which is a number, is a straightforward value for cross comparing your price. Am I correct? More the square footage, more the house price. Am I correct? More the number of bedrooms, more the house price. Am I correct? But can we apply the same logic for location? When more the location, more the house price. Can we say that? Less the location, less the house price. Can we say that? So remember, here features that are predicting your house prices may not be always numerical values, such that you can compare them with greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, like parameters. Am I clear? Like operators. Am I clear? Now, location is basically what, man? the area where you are taking a house, that's okay. But how you will define it is a good location or a bad location or average location or accessible location, preferable location? How you will define this? Don't you think that there should be some kind of different kind of information that can give you the weightage of that location? Weightage means some numerical value. Location on the priority of the scale means somebody should convert this particular location into a preferable numerical value. Yes or no? Which can be taken by ranking, or we call them as weights. So can we say criterially your normal variables in your programming language can become directly features in your particular ML for the sake of your predictions? Maybe, may not be. Am I clear? Now, don't you think that for any prediction we have to do, what is that influencing factor that defines the prediction to be more accurate with respect to the value what we are targeting? It is only the domain knowledge in that particular area. So feature selection or feature identification needs intelligence, or it is domain knowledge? Domain knowledge, domain knowledge. Don't you think that I can add more number of features by necessity? Availability of water, can it be a feature for predicting the house prices? Your water availability is 24 by 7, or it is only 2 or 3 times in a day? What are the timings when it comes? Now, is the water is groundwater, or is the water is cleaned, supplied water from the municipality? If it is from municipality, then how many hours the water will come on a scale of frequency within a week? Don't you think that the issues can come like, is the corresponding house what you're trying to purchase or you're trying to go for the sake of select renting? It is furnished or semi-furnished or unfurnished? Is the house is in a particular area where electricity power cuts are there? If electricity power cuts are there, then do you have a generator or inverter facility to see that you're having uninterruptible power supply? What is the criteria of accessibility of mobile signals? Which mobile operator can technically be more preferable here? Do I have a broadband connectivity facilities or not? Is the broadband connectivity facilities are there? Is it wire based or it is a underground based? What is the security that is provided? Is it the government security with the general policing system, or it is a private security that is available? What is the maintenance that is taken on a monthly basis? The availability of the maid and the cleaning people? If you are having children, are you not considering the nearest available schools and their particular credibility for quality of education? Are you not trying to cross verify whether you are purchasing a house which is basically having any kind of community support with respect to gym, swimming pools, or any other kind of things? What is your nearest connectivity if you want to travel outside? If you're preferring the railways, then what is the nearest railway station? If you are just thinking of roadways, what are the nearest area where I can catch a bus, which is either private operator or a government operator, to the nearest? What is the availability of the grocery shops that are fundamentally existing nearest markets? What is the cost of living in that particular place with respect to the kind of community in which I am staying? Are you not taking all these things, man? Now, can we say these things are variables in programming language? No. These are all the behavioral properties that are dictating you to take a decision on the house price? Yes or no? Is it all these properties are helping in decision making or not? Can you keep any of these properties as is it greater than or is it equal to or less than? All can be compared with greater than less than features only. No. All are basically numerical. So an ML person, if you are finalizing the AI to calculate the house price, you're having a formula to calculate the house price. In this formula, can you expect all of them to be something like addition, subtraction, multiplication, square root, or all are mathematical here? Don't you think that more are common sense based with respect to the criteria of the domain expertise of deciding which influences more, which influences less in this particular prediction? Trust me, many people who learn AAML, they technically have a problem with identifying the features only. You said you have done some project in ML and getting into the domain, I'm asking you the features. Okay, you gave me some features, but I'm asking you how this feature is relevant for prediction in your algorithm and machine learning. Can you tell me? You're not giving the reasons of the relevance of its importance to make predictions. Don't you think that I will expect you have just done stereotypic AML? You have never been part of the core of thought process and criterial research. See, they can catch you, they can catch you. Be careful. So, more the domains you do, don't you think that more the criteria of understanding of features will come? Suppose like you're working for one telecom industry man, where you need to think of customer churning. Customer churning means you want to identify how many customers who are existing with you now, they will stay and they will continue. How many customers they could be leaving and how many new they can add. Don't you think that predicting customers churn behavior definitely depends upon your monthly charges? Then don't you think that this particular telecom company is existing in the services for how many number of years or months? And depending upon whether your customers are satisfied or not, how you'll know, man? How a telecom company will know whether their customers are satisfied customers or not? Just if I take the log of the call center calls, number of calls to the customer support, I will come to know. And in that, if I can catch some small kind of keywords, say like I'm having many number of customer support calls, man, then technically are the customers are happy? We can't say what kind of calls they are. If the calls are regarding many number of customers, say like 80% customers are calling to have clarity on the billing process, then definitely I think customers are not having clarity and they're not happy on the billing cycles and billing information. There is a chance that these customers can drop. Yes or no? Many number of customers, they are calling, let us say some 60% customers are calling to ask what are the new plans that are existing when compared with the current plans that can be lesser than the existing prices. Then if you're not having plans that are requested to be less than the existing prices, don't you think that these customers are surely going to be lost if you cannot give new plans which could be looking lesser and more beneficial? Is there any straightforward formula for all these things to be cross compared and then take prediction, man? No. Are you understanding why we need to build a model here? Are you understanding the importance of model now? Model contains all these common sense based activities to be cross verified. And I think I told you very clearly, when you're implementing AI and ML or DL, it only operates on which kind of data? It operates only on which kind of data? Numbers. But in real time, are all features are numerical? No. Converting the important feature that dictates your concept of the prediction. Don't you think that that itself is one kind of ability, converting it into a number? So try to understand these transformations. I don't know how many database developers are there, man. Can you just give me any concept you learned in your database where your values which are non-numerical, you can convert them into numbers? Using any concept, you can do that. Programming languages will provide you what? Enums. And databases will provide you what? Case and decode. Great, man. I'm very happy. So many students are really having the clarity. Great. You're all definitely sure to go with your ML, AML in a better way. So programming languages will provide you a concept of what? Enums. Yes or no? Enumerations. And in programming, in databases, we can use either case or decode. In programming languages, we can even use the case statements. Yes or no? So you need to just change your mindset. Am I clear? We should just change your mindset to get into that field, man. Are you understand the concept of features? We'll just take few more. Suppose like you're working in a domain of predicting disease outbreak, okay? Some sudden outbreak of a disease is taking place and you want to predict whether this disease will come once again or not. Technically, don't you think that your average temperatures, the rainfall, air quality index, the humidity levels, these kind of features will help in studying whether that particular criteria of the disease with either virus or bacterial state can survive or not? See, COVID was a big lesson for the world of medical industry also, man. Medical research also. Generally, there was one kind of illusion that viruses or bacteria, they cannot survive the temperatures beyond 35 degrees or 40 degrees, they will just get killed. This was one of the criteria what people had for many number of years. COVID gave a lesson saying that virus can withstand even extreme temperatures. Was not COVID was surviving throughout the world, man? It's not only in the cold climates. I think in summer also it was able to survive. Now the researchers started changing their research mechanisms, trying to understand how this virus is specially able to withstand extreme temperatures also. That's what you should understand. The world is saying if AI ML with deep learning added to reinforcement learning, added with quantum computing, maybe we have to change many of our research prophecies that we have developed since last centuries. They're expecting that the whole science and scientific state of our research will change. Features are very, very important, man. Okay. Very few people will be available for feature engineering in AML environments. To become a feature engineering specialist, we need to be more strong in that domain. Yes or no? Means, is it not something like a research mindset now? Identifying the new features that can make you go nearest to the prediction, removing the existing features that can be technically not important to be part of the prediction, this cleaning and everything, don't you think that it really makes a big lot of effort? So you should be a subject matter expert. You should be a programmer. You should be a domain specialist. These are the levels you have to achieve as you are traveling in this field. It's not just sitting in front of your keyboards and going on typing the instructions. It needs more of involvement and concentration. Do you agree with me? I'll ask one simple question, man. All doctors who have done with their 5 years of MBBS, are they really becoming specialized doctors? Definitely no. No. Why? All are having the same subject. No. I think your involvement, yes or no, your involvement into that particular domain with concentration added to your common sense of analysis is making you, whether you are the best surgeon, you're an average surgeon, or you're not a surgeon. The same thing with engineering also. Do you agree with me? Change the mindsets, change the mindsets. I'm a 10 years programmer. I'm a 15 years software engineer. These stories will never work anymore. The next thing, just for making you understand the construction, if suppose you want to make any stock price predictions, don't you think that you need to know what was the previous day's closing price? What is the trading volume that has been done? Price to earnings ratio, and many more things are there. I'm just giving you few features, few particular features, as that you'll get an idea of what is a feature. Suppose like an employee is joining in my company, what is the employee attrition rate? Don't you think that age of the employee, the monthly salary, what he is basically earning, job satisfaction levels, out of which age of employee and monthly salary are numerical, job satisfaction level is not numerical, but are we not keeping some scale like 1 to 5? And with much more number of other features added, is not a company is recognizing who will stay and who will move away from the company in the next 6 months to 1 year. Which particular domain you want to take like this? So like predicting energy consumption. What is the average daily temperature, humidity levels, number of occupants in the building? According to that, don't you think that we can calculate how much amount of energy that particular household or the building can consume? If the temperatures are increasing, then definitely there is a chance of what? They will be using the air conditioners. If the temperatures are decreasing, air conditioners may not be used, but technically they could be using the geysers and heaters. If the number of occupants in that particular building are say like around 1,000 families, don't you think that in that area the aggregated energy consumption will be more? So can we say features are straightforward variables, man? No. Features are not straightforward variables. Okay. Anything that is making you predict your corresponding predictions in a better way and supporting you for the sake of those predictions that can be taken to the successful state of your expectation, all that will become part of your feature in ML. Am I clear? So from the classrooms, we can take few features to see how the ML is operating. Can we take every feature and start working in the classrooms? No. Therefore, be careful. The basic concept should be taken very properly when the problem of the domain is taken. Then you should start understanding the way you should take it into your actual implementations. Be careful. Model and features. Can you really answer? Now, the next thing what any AI ML person should understand is what are labels. Now we said the machine learning is of fundamentally two types on the broader side. One is what one supervised learning, the other is unsupervised learning. Yes or no? Now when you have a set of values, to identify these values are actually belonging to which particular situation of that particular operational state of the real time, we need what? A label. So label is generally part of the supervised learning. We already said, I already gave you clarity. Unsupervised learning does not has labels. We have to use specialized algorithms and see that the value, if it is falling into any of these particular categories and classifications, on the highest rate of the rank, what it gets in the classification, then we will fix a label for that. Yes or no? So label is part of the supervised learning, which represents the target variable that a model is trained to predict. Okay. The target variable for which your model is getting trained for prediction, that becomes a label. Sometimes your label and your feature may be same. Not always, but sometimes. Am I clear? Clear. In supervised learning, each instance in the training data has an associated label. Each instance means how many number of features of data you are giving for training. Then technically each instance of that data will be having one associated label. So labels are actually what? Labels are actually the outcomes or categories that machine learning model aims to predict. Okay. What is your aim of prediction? Towards the aim of prediction, whatever kind of outcomes or categories you're identifying, they become labels. They become labels. Therefore, the accuracy of the labels in the training data, it directly affects the performance of the model. It directly affects the performance of the model. Therefore, you can just say like what I can say is labels and features are two sides of the same coin. You need to know how to turn and understand the concept in the process. Clear? And majority of the time, label is on which side of the variable? Tell me, which side of the variable? Outcomes means target. Are you getting me? Target. So, can I say features are labels directly? No. By identifying the features, we finalize our outcome of the target, and that target, if it is given a name, that becomes a label. Is that point clear to you? Let us take the previous domains only. When previous domains only, say like we said house prediction, let us say within the domain of house prediction, what are features, what are labels? Are you catching up now? So these all features, if I put them together into the machine learning, then finally my target of house price, either in Indian rupees or US dollars, should come out. So feature is always which variable we said? Can you go back and recollect? Feature is always which variable we said? Input variable. Label is always what man? Target variable or output variable. Okay. Is the construct is clear? Many times, students have a great deal of fundamental confusion behind this. These confusions, if you carry, once we go into the programming side, no explanation on all these things, man. Program will continue, that's all. Okay. Therefore, catching up these things in the initial stages itself is very important. Well in advance, even before I'm starting AI with you, I'm talking about these things. The same way, we said something called a predicting customer churning. Now, customer churning means what? The customer will be retained, the customer will not be retained. Yes or no? That is a customer churn status. So technically, if you're taking it, if these are the identified features as input variables, working on those particular input variables or features, if you can come to a learning curve that can directly tell you the churn status as 1 or 0, 1 for churn, 0 for no churn. Don't you think that you're fixing your output status very clearly to filter out which customers are expected to leave and then make a strategy how to make them stay. See, you know that these customers will leave. Will the company think that gaya to gaya? No, they will think of a strategy and they will technically try to keep them. Yes or no? Now, what are those retainment strategies you need now? That is another level. That's another level. Analytics part. The same way, when you're dealing with the predicting disease outbreak, don't you think that your label is number of disease cases you want to find out? See, so many diseases will come and go, man. But why COVID was such a kind of nightmare in the world? It was just going in a geometrical proportion of increasing the number of cases, yes or no? The same way, if you're talking a domain of stock price prediction, don't you think that stock price on the next trading day is our actual target? Means with what price the stock will start the next day. When you're going with the employee attrition rate, don't you think that your label is employee attrition status? Left the company or stayed with the company? When you're going for predicting energy consumption, don't you think that the total amount of energy consumption in kilowatt hours is going to be the target variable for our analysis? So can we put label and feature into the same basket, man? No. Got it? So features are always inputs for machine learning. Your label is output of that prediction. Is that point clear to you? Got the clarity? And when you're going into actual machine learning implementation, these all terminologies can become programmatically independent variables, dependent variables. Yeah, Narayana, see, labels, features, and your mathematical representation together is a model. Okay? Together is a model. Got it? Am I clear, Narayana? So model is on the broader side. Okay? I'm now getting into in the model how you should identify the different components. Am I making you clear or am I creating confusion, man? Can I just know that feedback here? These are very important things. Don't you think that these are some things that are looking different than our basic experience and exposure with the software industry all these days with programming and all those things? So this terminology should be clear. See, to satisfy you, I'm saying that Don't worry, man. Feature and label, they are just like variables in your programming languages. You're also happy. I'm also happy, man. But later on, you just imagine how much confusion you'll be having when you go and sit in your projects. Your seniors are speaking on these things too seriously, and you're not understanding. Say, like you saw the square footage of the house, you did not find that as a variable in your program. In your program, you're not having that as a variable. Don't you think that it's a big lot of confusion in the process? So let us clear out those things first of all, okay? Because I don't want to spend my time on these things again and again. Once we get into the programming side and we are seriously implementing, once again, I have to explain every time these things to you. No. Got it? That's how we'll save the time later on. Such that we don't need to spend our time and concentration to understand these things with every program what we write. If I write the program keeping my domain of the target, and as my program is proceeding, you should be in a position to understand each area and finally understand, okay, this is my model, what I developed. Got it? Now, for all the students who have been going with your payments, I'll initiate Srinivas to see that he's sharing the self-learning videos that are required. First, we'll deal with the Python. We release Python for all those particular students. If they are released, he will send you a message or he'll send you a mail, look into it and go into your shared with me folder of your Google Drive. There you can find these particular videos in a particular order. Okay. Ashutosh, I'll talk about weightages and everything. Don't worry. In statistics, we'll be learning those things, okay? Because we have great mathematics to do. I will never leave you with any point. Trust me. Okay? Ashutosh. See, finally, you will be a wonderful AI ML programmer from the scratch. Rajesh, one small request from me is we can share the folder as it is, but certain times what happens is we keep the folder in sharing. The videos may not come for sharing. Okay. Sometimes it happens because Google Drive has certain issues. So what I say is, if Srinivas is sharing individual videos to you, please see that you're just selecting them and you're pushing them into your own folder. Okay. That's a better way. Is that clear? Aditya, I think we have already shared the fee details and all those things, man. Maybe you have missed that particular mail. I hope so. Check out in your mail. That mail could have already come to you. Else I'll tell my administrator Srinivas to once again send the mail. Okay. You'll be getting the mail from the same mail ID from where you're receiving my uh, daily class links or everything, man. Okay. Else it will be in the name of Srinivas.Nidumolu. Just check out. Else I'll tell. I'll just remember your name and I'll tell Srinivas. Okay. Check out. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll be just making ourselves get ready for understanding what is an algorithm. I stopped here just because you all people know what is an algorithm. Now, tomorrow, let me see how you will respond and how I will be discussing with you. Okay. Great, gentlemen. Keep that spirit. Have a nice day. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day. Once again with you tomorrow.